What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video, and we're here for another Ring of Honor TV review, episode number 57. 57 straight weeks. We've been at it. At least 50 of those weeks I've been sitting in the same spot. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all care about what happened on this episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling, as we're 1 week away from the 2024 Supercard of Honor event. I will say there were 2 matches announced for Supercard of Honor during this course of Ring of Honor, one of which was a Stardom Showcase 6-woman tag team match, including my favorite competitor from last week's Ring of Honor, Mina Shirakawa. And the other is a championship match that I will talk about a little bit later on. So we'll be discussing Supercard of Honor throughout this. I will make this note now, and I'll probably say it a handful more times. I'm going to try to upload next week's Ring of Honor TV review a lot earlier than I normally do. I try to upload them on Fridays regularly. Next week's I'll try to upload almost immediately after ROH is done, because in next week's review, I will have my Supercard of Honor prediction / preview in that video. So I'm trying to get you as much time prior to Supercard of Honor to watch that video. So hopefully you do. We have a lot more about Supercard of Honor announced, but that is a wait and see situation. But you do not have to wait and see any more about this 57th episode of Ring of Honor, as our opening contest was a proving ground match between Athena and Nikita. Nikita attacks before Athena can even get her jacket off, landing a Bulldog and an X Factor. And then Nikita ends up on the outside, and Athena dives onto her, landing a massive forearm that sends Nikita ricocheting, or ricocheting, if you get that reference, into the guardrail. And from that point forward, Athena dominated, winning with a half Nelson. After the match, she continued to attack Nikita and was going to end up drop-kicking her with the championship in front of her, but Hikaru Shida made the save to make sure it didn't happen. To be fair, the championship belt made the save because Athena was going to do it, and then the belt fell, and then Athena was going to put the belt back up, and Shida came out at that point. Speaking of Shida, she does have a promo later on in the episode I'll discuss now, in which she talks about how she's essentially dominated the women's division in AEW over the past however many years, as she's been a 3-time champion, and that she's going to try to do the same in Ring of Honor, and even mentions that last year Athena and Shida had a face-off, and I think she is referring to the all-out 0-hour match, because there was a 6-woman tag. I know Athena was involved in it. I'm fairly certain Shida was involved in it, so I want to imagine it was that matchup. Again, next week at Supercard of Honor, women's title match, Athena versus Hikaru Shida. There are 3 women's matches on this Supercard of Honor show so far. This match, the finals of the women's TV title tournament, including Queen Aminata and Billy Starks, and the Stardom 6-woman tag I mentioned earlier. Speaking of a tag match, our next matchup is a tag match. Cole Carter and Griff Garrison versus Kaz Jordan and Victor Costella. Griff and Kaz start the match off. Jordan and Costella don't do much of anything in this match, with Garrison and Carter winning with a boot slam combo. No sign of the Spanish Announce Project involved. No sign of Serpentico's mask that Maria Kanellis has been holding hostage for a number of weeks. The next matchup involves Nick Comoroto and Dalton Castle. Both are disheveled competitors, as we see that Nick Comoroto has shaved his beard, and Castle is still without his original boys, as they were in the possession of Johnny TV and Taya Valkyrie, but we learned that last week they lost them in the woods when a bear came near. We'll get a slight update in a minute. Both men early show signs of aggression. Castle attempts to hit a bangarang, but it is stopped, but he is able to land a German suplex and then follows that up with the bangarang, picking up the victory. And then after the matchup, Taya Valkyrie comes out to say that she was happy when she had the boys, but she was even happier after the boys were lost, because they were bad boys, and she blames Castle for that, and that they did not learn manners and were not treated right when Castle took care of them, and that he will be punished, and was attacked by Johnny TV. So we still don't know where the boys are. So I imagine, this is again speculating, this rivalry, this beef between these two has been going on since before Final Battle. I would be shocked if these two weren't involved in a match at Supercard of Honor. And this is going to be a slight, it's not even a hot take, it's just a take. But Supercard of Honor, thus far, there's been a handful of storylines going on in ROH. Freaking Cole Carter and Griff Garrison taking Serpentico's mask, and this one are the main two, or kind of the only two. And it would be a telling sign that if Supercard of Honor, if like predominant storylines that have been going on weekly on ROH aren't featured on the pay-per-view, but instead people that aren't involved in ROH are, I think it'd be a telling sign. That being said, I do want the best event possible. And if this match doesn't take place, if a tag match doesn't take place between the people I just keep mentioning, it is what it is. But at some point, this has to end. You can't just keep doing... This has been going on for almost 5 months now. Was the whole point that I'm making. But speaking of Supercard of Honor, the big match thus far for the Ring of Honor World Championship will be Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is supposed to have a Ring of Honor World title match last year at Death Before Dishonor, but was injured, and Eddie Kingston says that it is the time now to have this matchup. We get a video package / promo involving Mark Briscoe, saying that the Briscoes were made in Philly, which is where Supercard of Honor will be taking place, but has had to start over as a singles competitor over the past year. Both he and Kingston hear voices in their head that advise them to be the top dog, and whether they show the aggression and signs of being that will all be telling towards the Ring of Honor World Championship. So, like I said, now, again, there is a story to this, but like, so far, these two men have not been face to face. These two men have not, like, appeared in ring with the Ring of Honor logo in a long ass time. And the thing that sucks for me personally is that, and I'm only saying this because I watch Ring of Honor and review it every week, but it's like, the storyline's kind of second fiddle because over the past month, Kingston's been dealing with Kazuchika Okada, and over the past 3-ish months, Mark Briscoe's been dealing with the House of Black, and then just now, they were like, oh, let's just do this world title match. And again, like I said, these two men have not been face-to-face. It's all been these video promos, and this is for the World Championship. So they have a week to change that. I think that if there's two competitors involving ROH that could change that and make do, it will be these two. And the main part of this, the main story of this is that Supercard of Honor will be the same date as the Supercard of Honor that Jay Briscoe won his first Ring of Honor World Championship. So we will see if Mark Briscoe can win his first at Supercard of Honor. I very much would be down to see it. I want to see it. I think everybody wants to see it. If you don't, you in the minority. That being said, we have a very quick tag team matchup. This tag team matchup is Brandon Cutler and Colt Cabana versus Wreck Lawless and Brian Donovan. I thought for a second I wrote down Danielson, and I was like, nope, he was damn sure not involved in this match. Cutler and Lawless start the match, but Cutler is not strong enough to battle with Lawless, so he has to tag Cabana in. Eventually, Cabana and Cutler are able to power their way through this matchup together, winning with a pump handle slam elbow combo. Next matchup is a 6-man tag, Top Flight and Action Andretti versus the KPK, which are Ahmed, Haran, and Abu. They did not show their damn names. They literally just listed them as the KPK. I had to Google it. It took me a good while to find out what their names were because the commentaries, it did not say it till like minutes into it. Y'all don't care. Y'all want to know what happened in the match. Andretti and Abu start the match off with Abu having a lot of trouble being triple teamed by his opponents. This is until Ahmed comes in to save him. Darius lands a double team DDT on those two, and Andretti wins the matchup for his trio after hitting a split-legged moonsault. Next matchup, this is one that's been building for a number of weeks. Kiera Hogan versus Diamante. This is a rematch of the first round of the Women's Television Championship Tournament. It is back and forth early, mainly with headlocks. It advances to wrist locks. Diamante attempts a suplex off the top rope, but is pushed off, and Kiera Hogan is then able to land a drop kick. Hogan follows this up with a running boot for a 2 count, and then Hogan hits a super kick and Face the Music to pick up the victory and get a bit of redemption. Next matchup is J.D. Drake versus Evil Uno. Drake wants the fans to cheer for him, but we are in Evil Uno's hometown, so that was not happening. We get lots of chops between the two. It leads to them going to the outside, and the chops session stops once Uno chops the ring post. JD has the advantage at that point, including a Shining Wizard for a 2 count. The two brawl in a hockey type of fight. Uno misses a Swanton Bomb, and JD Drake misses a moonsault, with Evil Uno able to roll him up after that to pick up the victory. As now we go to the main event matchup for the television championship, Kyle Fletcher versus Blake Christian. And what is Kyle Fletcher's first title defense in a hot minute? I know there was rumors that he had visa issues, and there was like a month or so where we didn't see him, and then he returned on AEW television. He's had good matchups against Will Ospreay since then, but his return to Ring of Honor television action, as he's going against Blake Christian. There's no Code of Honor, which fires up Christian in the start of this match with a drop kick and a frog splash and a Fosbury flop to the outside and hits a DDT. It was a combo, so I kind of just made it sound like he did both separately, but he Fosbury flopped to the outside and then landed it into a DDT, is what I should have said. Once back in the ring, the two exchange chops. Christian hits a tope suicida and elbow drop for a 2 count. Fletcher's big boot and brainbuster gets a 2 count. We get roll-ups between the two that ends with Fletcher hitting a pile driver to win the matchup, and then his Supercard of Honor opponent comes out, and it is Lee Johnson. So, reversing, going back earlier in the episode, Renee Paquette had an interview with Lee Johnson, and he said that he's in Ring of Honor to take wins and to take gold, and he's setting his eyes on the television championship. So, at Supercard of Honor, it is Kyle Fletcher versus Lee Johnson for the television championship. I, like most people on Twitter and Instagram, because I was reading what do people think about this matchup. You know, I care about the opinions of the fans. And a great majority of the comments on both Instagram and Twitter, I didn't check Facebook, but I imagine it is the same. I didn't check anything else. Where is Ethan Page? Now, for months, Ethan Page, for almost a year, that's over, but for months, Ethan Page has talked about he wants to win a championship in Ring of Honor. And it's funny because there are 5 male championships to choose from: World, TV, Tag Team, 6-man. Hey, remember when we had 6-man Tag Team champions in Ring of Honor? And a Pure Championship, which I'll say the same thing about that, but at least the Pure Champion is injured. Backtracking. And he finally said he wanted a TV title shot, but we didn't know where Kyle Fletcher is. Again, he took the time off. Now, Ethan Page is nowhere to be seen. Where the hell is Ethan Page? And again, like I said, it's funny that he's like, I want a TV title shot. And now he's gone. The TV champion is here, but he ain't getting the damn title shot. Lee Johnson is. And you can't even say that, like, well, you know, Lee Johnson's been on a winning streak, because Ethan Page has been on a winning streak. Again, maybe this is something that in the course of a week it changes, but for now, it is Kyle Fletcher versus Lee Johnson, and it kind of is coming off as me sounding like a Lee Johnson hater. I'm not. I just feel that during the course of this winning streak, we just kept seeing the same Lee Johnson matches over and over again. I will say, I feel this is a good matchup compared to those other ones, because I don't think it's going to be that. It's going to be a heavily evened matchup. But again, a lot of people thinking, where's Ethan Page? Is essentially, so it's an interesting matchup. Lots can change. So, Supercard of Honor, we have 5 matches. Again, next week, I plan on uploading my review earlier. That way I can do a Supercard of Honor preview. Hopefully, we have a Supercard worthy matchups announced, and we don't have to wait till literally the damn day of, because I can't freaking do a video then talking about this event. So, Supercard of Honor, the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view, is next Friday. We're 1 week away, so I will see you then for that video. I do appreciate you for watching this one. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.